Good morning to you.
Good morning. I love that Corona education story with all the placards.
You did?
Yes, absolutely.
That was our last story.
Yes, it was.
I think it was with the Jackson College of Education.
You know, we need to do a lot more of these to get the message to the... when the woman said, I'm going to be wearing the mask for like how long? You know, how long can we survive living like this when you can't even see people's faces?
I have a friend, Mr. Jabba, who works with Stanbic Bank based in Bolga, and he was just giving me a message when that story was ongoing about how it looks like now, even that the cases are up, we don't care at all. When the cases were 2 and 12, we were all scared. And now it looks like we're all just flouting the protocols. Yeah.
Well, let's say good morning to Gifty and Apia and Joseph Akablate, two of our colleagues joining us.
Hi, good morning. I was just going to say, Roland, that, you know, the way we react to coronavirus right now is just like how men behave towards their wives after many years.
Yeah.
We get used to them.
I think that we all have daily discussion. You know, the first time when we encounter the women, well, have you eaten?
They're checking on you.
With Jerry. And you know, they do video calls and all that.
But is that what you do?
I read something.
Oh, no, I'm telling you the reality. I'm a man, so I know how it goes.
What happens when a relationship is coming to an end? I'm told the man says, hold on, I'm closing the fridge to come.
That's a funny one, but that's the reality, you know. We all seem to be very much hyped up and very enthusiastic for first-timers.
Roland knows it all. I think he's
I think you and I have been through the process.
And Gifty to us, many more years.
Given all the things that she's also experienced, she knows that's how it is. So,
excuse me. I'm sure, anyway, we don't have time.
I'm sure right now she'll just tell you.
We don't have time. We don't have time.
I'm sure right now she'll just tell you, Master, go straight to the point. At the end, the way you're laughing, you know it's true. Oh, Gifty, thank you for
by all means,
the confirmation.
So I don't waste time.
Okay, listen.
For the next 10 minutes,
we've got a very limited time, so let's shoot straight away. Gifty, let's start with you.
Okay, I have the BNFT right here, and the banner headline for the BNFT says, jobs, livelihoods hinge on diligent implementation of CARES. That's according to the TUC. The story is on page 3, and Mama B, if we have some time, I hope you'll be able to read for me that, what's it called, the first paragraph. I just want to have an idea what that, right. And then I have here also 2 out of every 5 Ghanaians are poor. That's according to GSS. It looks like a survey that has been done. And really sad in the 21st century that still 2 out of every 5 Ghanaians are poor. And then post-COVID-19 economy's growth rate is below potential. That's according to the IEA, and President Akufo-Addo cuts short for Tamale water project. Very exciting news. That is part of the Yendi development agenda ongoing right there. So let me see, right beneath the banner headline, you have a story. Who is there? Okay, it's a bit difficult to see, but you can grab yourself a copy of the BNFT. I'm going to take you through the inside pages. So you have details of the story on jobs, livelihoods hinging on diligent implementation. That's a TUC. You have that story on page 3, and President Akufo-Addo's cutting the sword for the water project in Yendi, also there on that page. Then the story post-COVID-19 economy also there as well. Other pages, you have move away from banks of Odo or face eviction, according to the Accra Mayor. Accra Mayor is telling those who live along the banks of the Odo River there. And KGL Technology receives NLA licenses to operate digital lottery products. And 2 out of every Ghanaians are poor. That story is on page 2 of the BNFT newspaper. Let's see what we have on the back page of the BNFT is West Hills Malls Food Courts raises the bar, Stanbic digitizes banking service request for clients. Of course, it's a business newspaper. You should respect some of these stories there. Let me see, I only have the front page of the Finder newspaper. I'll go through it anyway. And the banner headline is 223 million Tamale water project takes off. It will benefit 792,000 people, according to President Akufo-Addo. Comes with a picture of the president cutting the sword. And COVID-19 initiative, splendid, according to TUC. So I think that's the CARES project there. It commits, so TUC commits to help governments implement the program, and that story is on page 2. Magdan donates 3 hemodialysis machines to 37 military hospital. The story is on page 3 of the Finder newspaper. So that's all I have for now. Mama V and Roland Akable.
All right, let's go to Joseph. Joseph.
So I'll start with the front page of the Dispatch. It has this story about launch of Professor Hoy's book on Rollins. It's on the front page. Another story here says KGL Technology, gets NA licenses to operate. And stop pussyfooting, bring your evidence is also on the front page. And Rollins' close associates replies him again. Details of that story in the Daily Dispatch. We can look at the front page of the Daily Guide. It says, Mahama brother fights Amidu with UK lawyers. It's a story by Ernest Kofi Edu. We also have court convicts for contempt. And the 66-page situation plan final phase 2 pullouts is also inside. And injunction against acting Auditor General's.
Looks like we have some issues there with the connection to Joseph Akable. So whilst we fix that, let's do the Daily Graphic newspaper, which is also very heavy today. But we know that it's because of the Electoral Commission's rollout plan. If you want to check, they haven't been in your area, you might want to check what's in the graphic. But front page, President cuts sword for Tamale Yendi water projects. There's a special supplement on Idil Adha in the inside pages of today's graphic. Also, make asset declaration public. Chairman Sabonsu advocates. Domelevo's office not shut, according to the board chair. Joseph Akable would give us some background because he filed the story for us. The chairman of the audit service making some comments. He would brief us. 5 more arrested over Kafaba lynching, according to the story on page 23. Some 5 persons turned themselves in. So they came forward to the police and they were arrested. And they're making an appeal. If you were there, you saw what happened, you live in the community, the police is asking that you help them with their investigations. KGL Technology gets online lottery operation license. In the center spread, of course, they've got Idil Adha sermon to go virtual. Compute Ghana trusted naming technology. Well, there's a story on them as well. Boache Jackal's Eid message, coalition against Muslims to avoid lofty lifestyles. On the back page, Magdan Foundation donates dialysis machines to 37 military hospital. Ghanaian Nigerian spare parts dealers in brawl over retail trade. We extensively covered the story from when it broke, when Maxwell Agbagba, till how it all ended yesterday. Joseph, we didn't quite get the entire review, so let's go over your papers again.
Okay, so my papers, the front page of the Daily Guide had the story about Mohammed's brother fighting Martin Amidu with UK lawyers, and also Domelevo court case back on. An injunction against Auditor General struck out also on the front page of the Daily Guide. Then another story about Kafaba victim recounts ordeal, also on the front page of the Daily Guide.
Okay.
Then for the Daily Dispatch had this story about Rollins' close associates replying him again. And this story about stop pussyfooting, bring your evidence is also on the front page. Yeah. So those are the stories for Daily Dispatch and Daily Guide.
Okay, all right. So there you have it on the on your screen. Stop pussyfooting. Front page of the Ghanaian Times newspaper. This is the Times. President's directive to Auditor General to proceed on leave. Supreme Court strikes out Domelevo case. NLA partners KGL Technology to advance digital lottery. That headline also here. Keep nation focused on COVID-19 as election 2020 approaches. Some Jonah appeals to media. Magdan donates 3 dialysis machines to 37 military hospital. Parliament approves over 11.8 billion Ghana cedis per supplementary budgets. On the back page, President cuts sword for water expansion projects in Yendi, Tamale. ECG supports infectious disease center with materials engineering works valued at 320,000 Ghana cedis. Oh my God, finally. I'll give you the backstory to this tomorrow, God willing. Roland.
Hi, ambassadors. Joseph, what's your pick? Joseph is here.
I thought you had some papers.
No,
okay, so Joseph, we wanted you to tell us about the Auditor General, the updates with the chairman of the Audit Service speaking and making some comments. And then we can also go to the courts because you were in court yesterday.
Yes, he makes the point that as far as he is concerned, he doesn't think there's any issue about Mr. Domelevo's office being locked out, and he explains that this is because he had been informed by the acting Auditor General that they needed to secure the office because Mr. Domelevo had come there some days earlier to pick documents from the office, and so that is what necessitated them changing the locks, and that they tried to give the keys to the Secretary of the Auditor General, but he wasn't. He declined taking the key, for which reason they handed it over to the treasurer. And so if Mr. Domelevo had actually gone to the treasurer, he would have gotten access to the key. So he thinks that Mr. Domelevo simply wants to cut the sympathy of the media and create the impression that someone is working against him or wants him out of office. That's why instead of going for the key, put that information out there that he has been locked out. But the question I asked him was that, how is that? Did they inform him when they were changing the locks? He said, no, they didn't because he wasn't around. Then I said, how do you change someone's office when he is not available? Then he still insists that they have to secure the office.
Professor Dia
Ajimai,
yes. Former Auditor General.
Exactly. Exactly.
Right.
Yeah, we're here. But just quickly before Gifty comes in, also the courts.
So,
okay, Gifty, go ahead.
Go ahead, Gifty.
Okay, so I just wanted to say that, this is the most perhaps ridiculous story that I have heard. I know that governments change and a lot of ridiculous things happen, but honestly, it's not rocket science to see through what is happening. And we're not children in this country. We're smarter than that. People show us some respect. Don't look down on our intelligence. You know what I mean? Don't insult our intelligence this way. I think that it's obvious, and we need to say it as it is, as uncomfortable as it may sound sometimes. Who goes on leave and can't have access to their office? Really? Joseph, when he says that Mr. Domelevo is trying to court the sympathy of the media, you don't need to court the sympathy of the media. When people see the work you're doing and they believe it is in their interest, they will speak for you. They will go for you. It's not about us. It's about the people who like the work that Mr. Domelevo did, and they believe that he's being called out, singled out because of the work that he did, taking on officials. So, it sounds really ridiculous that once you go on leave, you're out of the office, someone changes your locks, and they say you have to tell us before you come to the office. It doesn't make sense. And I was hoping that yesterday we could have asked Professor Ajimai about his experience. Yeah, he was asked to go on leave.
He told me that when he was at the audit service as Auditor General, he never kept his keys, and so he doesn't understand why.
When he went to leave, was the door lock changed? I don't know. I was hoping that he would answer that too.
No, but he says the keys were always in the custody of the secretary. So when you come in, then you pick the key, and so you don't have to. So if the keys had actually been changed, when you come in, you will still get the key from the secretary, and you don't have the key on you when you are coming in.
So just more thing. Who were they? So they were securing the office for who exactly?
So the acting Auditor General apparently says he doesn't feel safe. He's not sure about the security and the office.
What?
So then he was.
Is he using the substantive office?
No, he's not using the office. I asked him that question. He said he's using his own office.
So why is he securing the Auditor General's office?
So according to the board chairman, he says that because he is acting, he expects that in the event the Auditor General comes to the office to do whatever he comes in to do, he needs to at least give him heads up that, okay, I've come around on this day. So that if anything happens, they'll be able to trace it. And that's
you mean the main? No, you mean the main man, the man himself. The man himself, who is the boss, but has just gone on leave, should come and report to
the acting. his deputy.
Yeah,
all right.
Give
exactly.
him heads
like,
up.
Elvis
According to the
is on leave. It's like Elvis is on leave and Elvis wants to come to the office, and you're saying that Elvis should call Emily, or she should call
Yeah.
call.
It means that Elvis' position is under lock and key.
Can you open up my office? You know, we're intelligent people. We're intelligent Ghanaian people who have been taken through school. Someone says we have done our degrees. We can read through the lines.
Yeah,
I mean,
we have
don't insult our intelligence.
Yeah,
this is our plight when we bring politics into everything in this country.
Yeah, but let's go on to other issues before the time is
just
up,
in 2 minutes.
Just a real quick, the court issue on this.
And so first, the injunction related to the leave was dismissed. They had wanted the acting auditor general to also be restrained from acting as such. That was also dismissed by the court. Then the court also removed the auditor general, Domelevo, and Johnson Ekwame as defendants in the case filed by Professor Stephen Asari. And so that deals with this initial aspect of the case, but the substantive case is still before the court, Marvin.
Okay. All right. Gifty, there was a story you were interested in?
Yes, the water project in the northern region, Tamale Yendi, Dagbon to be specific.
We should make you an ambassador, because this week you've been very passionate about this water project.
I am. I don't know, and it's not just a water project. I don't know, but there's something that just attracts me to the northern part of the country. I don't know. It's not like I really dated anybody from that area too, so I'm not really sure. But I'm really particularly interested in that area. I think it's the love I speak.
No, I think it's the way, you know, when you watch the Ghana map, the way the lines are. You love the shape.
I think it's the love I feel. It's a love I feel. That is a love that, you know, radiates when I get to the northern region to do any story.
Your love making time is up with Northern Ghana. It's up. We have to.
I covered the wrap up of the Yendi peace process, and these were some of the things that the people were expecting. They were expecting to see development in the area. And I think that when we do that, the likelihood that we can bring down the tendency of any escalation of tension, conflict, etc., is really high. So I think that's an area of focus we should really put our attention to. So this is one of the things that President Akufo-Addo promised when he went there for the coronation. And I think it's just great that he's doing it. He should do the others as well. Scholarship schemes for the people.
Well said,
bringing
Gifty.
jobs to them as well. That's great.
On that note, Gifty, unfortunately, our time is up. We ask our viewers to log on to myjoyline.com, where we've got a lot of stories. Joseph, thank you for joining us. Gifty is back on Pulse at 3 p.m. today. Jaibibia Nesha Pulse. That's her slogan. Stay with us. Today, we're focusing on children. There are certain things that we're learning about young children. We leave them at home. They're spending lots of time, sometimes by themselves, and they're coming, reporting to the hospital with some accident. You have to realign certain things in your home. We're also told that certain critical conditions that needs regular checkups are not being reported because of COVID. So children are ending up in the emergency instead of the regular OPDs because parents are just not taking them. We're discussing this issue. We've got two pediatricians, one in the Greater Accra region, the other in the Ashanti region, joining us. We would love to hear from you. But first, sports.